Hey guys, it's Saturday, January 14th. We are, I guess, about 5 hours away from UFC Rio. I believe it's UFC 142. Gonna make my picks here. I'm gonna scroll down through the fights on my nice new iPad, courtesy of the UFC for Christmas. Thank you very much. It's getting great use. Alright, so I'll just do the main card fights here. Couple wild card fights here. Some less experienced guys who haven't had much time on pay-per-view, so it'll be pretty interesting how they turn out. The first fight, Edson Barboza and Terry Edom. Both really strong guys, really tough guys. Edson Barboza is a killer. I believe it was his last fight he fought Ross Pearson. I could be wrong, but I believe that. Great striker. He's lethal with every limb of his body. Terry Edom, though, is one of my favorites. You haven't really seen a lot of him. He's been out of commission for a long time. But, he's crafty, sneaky, good striker, slick submissions, really good guillotine. I'm going to probably go with the underdog there and pick Terry Edom. By decision. Terry Edom by decision. I think he'll be able to withstand Barboza's kicks and striking, and hopefully, he'll be able to use his grappling to win that match. The next fight, Eric Silva and Carlo Prater. Two guys I don't know a whole lot about. I do know that years ago, back when I was a teacher, I remember watching Carlo Prater fight. I believe it was in WEC, so he's been around for a long time. Eric Silva had about a 30-second KO in his first fight with the UFC. He's young, he's explosive, obviously has knockout power. However, I'm going to go with Carlo Prater on this one by decision. Next fight, Paul Harris and Macenzio. Very good fight. Teammate Dan Miller just fought Paul Harris. And, Macenzio, I didn't see his last fight, but from what I've heard, his striking has increased tenfold. And I think that with his wrestling background, he'll be able to stifle Paul Harris up on his feet, beat him with his much improved boxing. Paul Harris, I don't think, is going to have an answer for Macenzio's reach and length. So I'm going to pick Macenzio. Only obvious, danger point for Macenzio is going to be his legs, getting caught in a heel hook or an ankle lock or something. But I'm going to go with Macenzio by TKO. Macenzio by TKO. The next one, the big fight, literally the big fight, the kind of middleweight fight. Anthony Johnson versus Vitor Belfort. Two guys that I guess I know decently well. I fought Johnson, and Vitor I met on several occasions and is a stand-up guy, very cool guy. This is an interesting fight. A lot of people are actually picking the underdog Johnson, saying that he'll be able to out-wrestle Vitor. Both guys are going to come in. Johnson, I just read something today with Dolce expecting Johnson to come in probably 220 pounds. Probably only 5 or 10 pounds heavier than he came into our welterweight fight, but that's beside the point. He did make weight. He did what he was supposed to do for that fight. Anyhow, I think Belfort, being in his home country, his style, his in-your-face, his last fight against Akiyama just looked incredible with the punching power and the efficiency of his punching. So this is a tough one to call, but I think I'm going to go with Vitor. He's a natural 85, 205 pounder. I think he's going to be a little bit more used to the weight class. I'm going to pick Vitor. It's not going to be a decision. I'm going to pick Vitor by KO. That's a bold pick. Vitor Belfort by KO. And finally, the main event of the evening, Jose Aldo versus Chad Mendes. This is another one. If I wouldn't have seen Aldo fight Mark Hominick, I would say Aldo. However, Hominick's ability to get on top, stay on top, and not be in danger. Chad Mendes is 10 times the wrestler that Mark Hominick is. I think Mendes is going to be able to stick the striking of Aldo early on with the guidance of his teammate, Uriah Faber, who fought him. I think he may take a little beating in the first round or two, but I think Chad Mendes, I don't expect him to stop Aldo, but I do expect him to win a decision. So Chad Mendes to become the new UFC champion by decision. So that's my picks. I'll be fighting next Friday. It's coming soon. It's only 6 days away, so stay tuned. Check my blog, check my website, charlie-brenneman.com Follow me on Twitter at Spaniard MMA, and I'll be posting, scenes from the week all next week. So thanks, guys.